Is it true that years ago, babies that were not baptized before death were not allowed to be buried in Catholic cemeteries? The answer to that is yes. It's sad to say, but it is true. In the past, years ago, the idea was anyone who was not a baptized Catholic was not allowed to be buried in the cemetery. It didn't matter when you died, it didn't matter who you were. If you didn't have the baptismal certificate, you didn't get buried in the Catholic cemetery. To be fair, in most of the Protestant cemeteries, it was the same. But they were a little bit more. It wasn't that you had to only be baptized, you had to actually belong to that church too, or you didn't get buried at all.
What about Van? I mean, everybody's in that.
But does it belong to a church? No. There were city cemeteries, village cemeteries, other cemeteries that were not affiliated with any churches, and anyone could be buried in those.
So what if you're a Catholic and you're buried in that thing?
Well, if you're Catholic and buried in one of those, you're Catholic and buried in one of those. But when we as a Catholic bury someone in a non-Catholic cemetery, we bless the ground for their particular grave, so that they are still buried in a blessed grave. In a Catholic cemetery, we don't have to bless the graves because they're already blessed, because we bless the whole ground for the Catholic cemetery. So every grave in there is already blessed before you even start digging. But when it comes to a city or a village or whatever other kind of cemeteries, it's not affiliated with the Catholic Church. We always bless the grave before we put the body in. That's part of the prayers that we do at the cemetery for those. We skip them for the Catholic ones.